All right, we are live on YouTube. I just need for that video to connect on my other monitor so that I can grab that link and put it in our free business mastermind group so that our community can conveniently join us on Facebook Jesus, on YouTube. We were talking about the Facebook live streams uh, and in the live chat. Okay, let me throw this link in here. All right, let's let that post. Come on. Come on. Awesome. Now that is posted. Let me go back, make sure I can see the live chat. All right. I think we are ready, Freddie. All right. So, welcome to your First Six Figures Morning Show, where every show is intentionally more of an interactive coaching and training experience to position Black and Brown female online service based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/launch. That's shaycannon.com/launch. Let me put that in the YouTube for you, because what we are talking about this week is failure to launch. Okay, failure to launch. Now, if the Alabama is getting away, launch, LAUNCH. Okay. Because a great offer doesn't sell itself. How you introduce it makes all the difference. A launch isn't just a date on the calendar. It's the moment you create demand, excitement, and urgency around what you're bringing to the table, whatever your offer is. Okay, so if done right, it positions you as the go-to expert, turns interested prospects into eager buyers, and fuels long-term business growth, because you do know that after you launch it to the world, you're going to continuously have different marketing campaigns that will follow the same rules. Okay, so done wrong, or worse, ignore it altogether, it leaves your offer sitting in digital limbo, unseen and unprofitable. Every marketing campaign is a chance to spark momentum, build credibility, and maximize sales. If you're not treating your launches like business changing events, you're leaving money, impact, and opportunity on the table. Okay. So this week, we're going to talk about the four biggest obstacles to launching your offers correctly. All right. And we're going to start with today with mental blocks. Okay. Your mental blocks. So they are like invisible handcuffs, keeping entrepreneurs stuck in hesitation, doubt, and avoidance. Whether it's the endless cycle of tweaking and perfecting, the fear of putting yourself out there, or a deep-seated belief that no one will pay for your offer, these internal roadblocks quietly sabotage your success before you even begin. The worst part, most don't even recognize that their biggest obstacle isn't a lack of resources or knowledge, it's their own hesitation. A launch requires confidence, conviction, and willingness to take up space in the market. Without breaking through these mental barriers, even the best offers will remain just ideas, never fully stepping out to their full potential to generate impact and income. Okay. Now, that is what is in the blog, but you know that on the morning show, we give you more. So, on my show notes, I have for you 10 mental blocks and some solutions for them, some actionable strategies to get over them. Okay. And I want you to be listening in to a mental block that you may have in particular. Okay. Because today's question is, what mental blocks, if any, might you have, and did you find the solution that I gave helpful? We're going to start with Dewana if she stays on. If Dewana has to drop off, we'll go to Shawana. Okay, so the Wanas are starting us off this morning. All right. All right, let's go to number one. Let me make sure we are right over here on YouTube. We are. Okay. Good morning, YouTube. Okay, so the first mental block that a lot of people seem to have is perfectionism. Okay, perfectionism paralysis, and that is waiting until everything is perfect, right, before you can actually launch, which means you are endlessly tweaking and taking no action. The solution to this is to set a firm launch date that gives you plenty of time. How I do myself, because I am a perfectionist. So this is what I do for myself. What I say is, okay, I have enough time to launch by this day. And then I add a week or two so that it is ridiculous if I do not launch on time. Okay. So set a firm launch date and commit to done is better than perfect. Your offer will evolve with real world feedback, not endless edits. Okay. So just keep in mind. All right. Number 2, fear of visibility is a mental block, okay? And that's worrying about judgment, having imposter syndrome, feeling too old or not enough. So you just keep hiding, you just keep putting it off and you just don't do it, okay? So your solution is reframe visibility as not about you. It's about those that you are here to serve. So reframe it as service. People can't benefit from your expertise if they don't know you exist. So start small with low pressure content, build your confidence up, hire Shawana Kennedy Media to help you with your visibility, whatever you need to do to get over the fear of visibility. All right. Number 3, money trauma and pricing fear. All right. Undervaluing your work due to fear of rejection or a subconscious belief that people like you won't pay premium prices. Okay, that's the problem. Your solution: research industry pricing, position yourself confidently, and remember that pricing reflects the value of the transformation, not your personal value. Okay, this is not an evaluation of you, it's an evaluation of the transformation that you can bring. So not just the time spent delivering it, it's not an hourly rate, we're pricing for the transformation. Okay. Number 4, overthinking and second guessing. Okay. Feeling like you need another certification, feeling like you need to go and get more education, feeling like you need to go and get some guru's approval before you launch. Okay. The solution: trust your expertise. Because if you've gotten people to transformation, that's the only, we're going to say, certification that you need. So take action and let the market provide you real world feedback on what you need if you need more things. Okay. So learning comes from doing, not just from planning and not just from buying more and more certifications. Okay. Number 5, scarcity mindset. Okay. Believing the market is oversaturated, that no one will buy, or that you need to hoard your knowledge instead of selling the transformation. Okay. So scarcity mindset. And let me tell you how scared money don't make no money too. Okay. But the solution: shift into an abundant mindset. Your unique approach, your story, your experience make your offer different. There's always room for people who can execute well and get the transformation. Because let me tell you how some people are just waiting for the way that you do things so that they understand it, so that they can unlock their transformation. There have been times where I've heard something over and over and over again, and I thought I understood it, but then one particular person explained it in a way that I was really able to have actionable strategies behind it. And so what if that person had never stepped into their genius, their purpose? I may still be around here spinning my wheels, right? Same thing for you. So come out of that scarcity mindset. Let's get into abundance mindset. Okay. Number 6, comparison syndrome. Watching others in your industry and feeling behind or inadequate. Your solution: keep your eyes on your own paper. Okay. Focus on your own lane, unfollow distractions, and use comparison only as inspiration, not discouragement. Okay. You have to learn how you're supposed to look at things, how you're supposed to leverage it. It's not supposed to keep you down, it's supposed to help you to soar. Okay. Number 7, fear of failure. All right. Avoiding launching because of the fear that it won't succeed. Let me tell you how the only way it can succeed is if you launch it. That's the only way. It's never going to succeed if you never launch. Okay. So redefine failure as feedback. A launch that doesn't meet expectations is not the end of the world. It's data to refine and relaunch smarter. This is why we're on iPhone a million. They be knowing that stuff have bugs. They guess what they do? Sell it to you at thousands of dollars anyway. So let's get rid of our fear of failure. All right. Number 8, fear of success. worrying about what happens if things actually go well, when you get more clients and more responsibility and have a little more pressure, right? So the solution, visualize success as a stepping stone, okay? Not a burden. Set systems in place early to support growth without overwhelm. Number 9, lack of boundaries and people pleasing, okay? Or people pleasing and lack of boundaries. Delaying your business goals because you're prioritizing others' needs over your own. This is a mental block that's stopping you from launching. You can never get to your own launch because you're over here doing stuff for other people. Okay. So your solution is treat your business like a job. Block out your business ownership time, your CEO time, protect it fiercely, and learn to say no to distractions that don't serve your vision. Okay. Last but not least, number 10, not believing in the offer. Okay. Feeling doubt around whether your offer is truly valuable. The solution, if you wouldn't buy your own offer, then you need to redefine it until you would. Collect testimonials, beta test it if you need to, and own your expertise with confidence. Okay. Anything that you do with confidence is going to be better than anything that you do scared. All right. You have to believe in your own offer before you can sell it into somebody else, because they're not going to believe in it if you don't believe in it. All right. Now, Shawana Kennedy Media, the question is, what mental blocks, if any, might you have, and did you find the solution that I gave helpful? We're going to start with Dewana, but let me give you the 10 again. Okay. Without all the extra, just as a reminder. So number 1, perfectionism, perfectionism paralysis. Number 2, the mental block of fear of visibility. Number 3, the mental block of money trauma and pricing fear. Okay. And did I skip that one? Because I feel like I skipped that one. No, I did say that one. Okay, cool. Number 4, overthinking and second guessing. Number 5, scarcity mindset. Number 6, comparison syndrome. Number 7, fear of launching, or fear of failure. I'm sorry. Number 8, fear of success. Number 9, people pleasing and lack of boundaries. And finally, number 10, not believing in your offer in the first place. All right. So we're going to start with Dewana. Let me grab this question and throw it in the comments. There you go. So Dewana, what mental blocks, if any, might you have, and did you find the solution given as helpful?
Good morning. Good morning. I will say at one point I had all of these, and when last year when I was really working on the Veggie Chef, you and I spoke countless times about many of these, and I'll say the ones that I'm not really there anymore, but the ones that had me kind of paralyzed at that time was overthinking, fear of scarcity, fear of failure, and fear of success. That was a big one for me, fear of success. So I'm pretty much over those humps now, though. So I'm moving right along.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for that, Dewana. All right, let's go to Shawana Kennedy Media. What mental blocks, if any, might you have to launching your offers? And did you find the solution helpful?
Hello, and welcome back. Welcome back. I'm excited because this is actually a great week starter. I can agree with Dewana with at some point in my time, my career, I have felt all of that. However, thank you, Lord, that is no longer a problem or issue for me. However, what I do have to say, if anybody is listening, one of the things that helped Shay with you, with even the pricing and some of the overthinking was being on your retreat and the roadmap that you gave us. So I do have to put that out there. That roadmap was everything. It is still serves as a great guide. It's almost like a business, little mini business Bible for a lot of people to help you get your stuff together. That ain't the word I want to use if I was in Shay's voice. But yeah, right now, and because it is, I do analyze because I analyze. So sometimes I can overthink, but I do know how to bring it back quickly because I don't want it to hold me up from being of service to my ideal client. So yeah, all this is so needed. Great.
Love it. Love it. I'll tell you that, a lot of these things, what I need people to understand is these things make you human, right? We're human. We're all, these type of mental things is just a part of our human experience. And so it doesn't make you less of a person. And just because you overcame it once doesn't mean you don't have to stay vigilant to keep overcoming it. So keep that in mind. I'll tell you that I guess if I had to pick one for myself, and I'm always having to check myself, is number 10, not believing in the offer. That's the only way I can fit it in. And it's not that I don't believe it will work. It's that I always have this fantasy version of it, and I'm always trying to throw more things in it. And what can happen is all the things I'm throwing in it could overshadow the actual transformation that's supposed to be the A to B, that's supposed to be the thing that they're paying for. So I can give so much that it distracts them from what they came here for, right? And so to me, that would be not believing in the offer as the straight A to B. And so I keep putting extra things in there. So now what I do to prevent that is I do what I naturally do, which is throw everything but the kitchen sink at it, and then I come back over it toward the end and I say, okay, what is the least viable value that gets them from A to B, which is what they're paying for? And I make sure that that is very clear, and anything else may be bonuses or may be taken out. And I have to do that every time. Like, there's not a time that I put an offer together that I don't have to do that, because my brain just goes to, okay, here's the A to B, but they could also use this. And I bet this would be helpful, and this, and this, and this. And so I'm automatically doing that just as who I am, just a generous person. I just want you to have everything, right? But I have to go back through and say, okay, let's take distractions out. Let's put what is the prime situation to get them from where they are to where they need to be for the transformation. And what are a few helpful things? And let's make sure we know that these are bonuses and not a part of the actual journey to get from A to B. So I love that you said that, Shawana, but we all as humans will go through this. And just because you went through it once don't mean you won't have to go through it again. So it's just a human experience, right? We just cannot let it stop us. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, what mental blocks to launching your offers, if any, might you have, and did you find any of the solutions helpful?
Yeah, I guess at some point I've had all of them. Most recently, just trying to figure out if the offer is good enough for people to purchase and not be still asking me for free stuff. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, so what I've been doing is kind of like you, like asking, like, would this be enough for me to purchase something, and would I think that it's enough to help me to fix whatever it is? And if I don't feel like that, then I try to, like, I go back to it and keep working on it until I feel like it is.
Yeah, yeah. You just put out a better version the next time. That's all. That's our jobs. So good job, good job. All right. Let's go to Dr. Latoya. Dr. Latoya, what mental blocks to launching your offers, if any, might you have? And did you find any of the solutions helpful?
Yes, so I think what you talked about in when you were giving your example of, like, just because you've overcome something once doesn't mean that it doesn't come back. I think that in general, as we continue to go through various stages of evolution and growth, things that we've worked through come back differently.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't recognize that it's the same thing, but the root cause of it is the same. And so for me, fear of success has actually been one that I've worked with, and it's not the success, it's really fear of um, exposure, right?
Mm,
Because of trauma. So it's like the fear of people knowing me and being accessible is one that surfaces. So now when I find myself either procrastinating or I find myself stuck in perfectionism, like, I recognize that those aren't really the things. So I have to ask myself, are you doing these things because you are afraid of the exposure that will happen if these things are successful? So that for me is the one that I continuously kind of come back as my check-in. Like, am I doing these other things because of this thing?
Yes. Love it. Love it. Thank you for that, Dr. Latoya. All right, let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what mental blocks to launching an offer, if any, might you have? And did you find the solution helpful or any of the solutions helpful?
A tiny bit of the pricing thing. I'm still coming out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the solution is helpful.
Yes, I love that. So I'll tell you one thing about the pricing thing is some people can never overcome confidence pricing. Let me tell you, it's okay to come out with an introductory price. It's okay to come out with a beta price, but you need a plan for increasing that price to get out of that confidence pricing, because we know that if you only are pricing at your level of low confidence, you're never going to make the money that you're supposed to make, which really means not only will you not have your abundance from your purpose and your gifts, it also means you can't even service people with your purpose and your gift up to par because they're not investing enough for you to do so. So we're not Walmart. We can't sell things at volume as a service. We're going to give piss poor service because we're going to have to herd more and more people in just to make money, which means we're spreading ourselves too thin. So it's okay to start with confidence pricing. Just have a plan for getting that price up. An example of that could be the first 10 people get it at this price. The next 10 people get it at this price. The next 10 people and beyond get it at the price that we know it should be at, right? So that way we've tested it, we've come out, and debuted it at a price we're kind of comfortable with, but only a limited amount of people get it at that price. So that's one strategy that you guys can use. Thank you for that, Dr. Tachi. All right, Dr. Ayana, the doctors are in the house today. What mental blocks to launching an offer, if any, might you have, and did you find the solutions helpful?
Absolutely. I found them to be very helpful. Once again, all of this is such a blessing. I can really say that fear of visibility had been holding me back, worrying about, how I would appear in comparison to some bigger people in my industry and in healthcare in general. When I was a student, in fact, I would see folks in the industry who seem to just know it all, who seem to be just perfect, who seem to have all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed. Mm-hmm. And so when it came time for me to launch, I started saying, well, I'm not at their level. I'm not like them. But then I had to really catch myself and reflect back and say, something that you mentioned as you went through point number 5, I had to remember there are little people out there who are depending on me. And there have been so many people who have said to me, written me letters, given me feedback that have said, you changed my blood chemistry, you changed my life, you saved my life. And at that moment, I said, who am I to even think about myself? This is not about me at all. It doesn't matter in fact, if I'm doing a video, it doesn't even matter what I look like. I have to be available for somebody else whose life their very existence might depend on what I have to say. So absolutely, this was very helpful. Thank you.
Good, good. That reminds me, recently I saw on social media, somebody shared an interview answer from former President Barack Obama. And he said, he's been in the big rooms, right? He's been in the rooms with the topmost experts. And you guys, you doctors, whether it be medical or PhD, you guys are in academia. You are in a very conservative environment of credibility and credentials that tend to be a little snobby at people, right? And one of the things that Barack Obama said in this interview, not to you guys, but just in general, was stop feeling like you don't belong in these rooms, because you do belong in these rooms, whatever room that is. Because when you start getting in these rooms, and he said, I've been in rooms, at Harvard. I've been in the rooms with top people in government. I've been in the rooms with top people running countries. And he said, what you will find as you go into these rooms are, yes, there are some incredibly genius and talented people in the rooms, but there's also some dumbasses in the rooms. Okay. And some of those people you like, oh, you a doctor? Or, oh, you run everyone in the country. And guess what? They feel very comfortable in that room. Okay. So I need y'all to step in every room as though you belong, because stop comparing yourself to these other people. You're going to be disappointed because some of these people that you feel like should have these credentials don't. Okay. Also, while we're being snubby and talking about credentials, sometimes that academia mindset gets in the way, because you also start to snub people because they don't have certain academic and traditional conservative credentials. And guess what? They're out here getting the transformation for people. That's why one of the the misalignments of a mental block is you don't necessarily need all these accreditations and going and get another thing and all of this stuff. If you can get the person the transformation, then you are the person that should be paid to get people the transformation. I don't care if you have doctor in front of your name or don't have doctor in front of your name, right? So these days, more than ever, I think starting with our generation, Generation X, we are the first generation that started to recognize that people were paying to get these credentials, but they actually couldn't help us. Okay, so the person that they called the kook and the person that was crazy was actually the person out here giving us the transformation that we needed, even though they didn't have the the traditional credentials. So you deserve to be in every room, and also so does other people. So keep that in mind. All right, Heather. Heather, you've been waiting patiently. Heather, what mental blocks to launching an offer, if any, might you have, and did you find the solutions helpful?
So just to piggyback on what Shwana said, is that the blueprint we got from the retreat really, even though I've changed a little bit of focus, is that it still applies, right? So all the same steps, all the same way of thinking, processing, all of that still applies. So yes, of course, I still have it. It is always right there. So for me, my thing is fear of visibility, because as a reporter, I always am, I'm not the story. I'm telling the story about other things and other people. Yes. But now I have something happening and I'm going to be very visible. And I'm a little, nervous. But also fear of success, because, like I have failed a number of times, right? So failure's like, whatever, right? Failure, pick yourself up, move on.
Yes. But
fear of success, because that means you got to keep doing that shit over and over and over again. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. That's terrifying. So those two things for me are the bigger ones. So.
And don't be afraid to ask for feedback so that you can make sure that it's the best that it can be. Don't be afraid to ask people, okay, you may have gotten the transformation, but what made it hard for you to get the transformation? What do you think would make it easier for you to get, always be getting that feedback, because that's all failure is feedback. It's fuel for you to be better and better and better. This is why, every workshop, every morning show, I'm asking you guys, like, was this helpful? Was this impactful? Because I am only human, right? Well, I'm a vessel, which makes me darn near perfect, because I'm not doing this on my own, right? These things that are downloading and coming through me are for y'all, but it still has to come through a human vessel, and any of that humanity can muck something up. So I'm always asking, right? And I'm not asking, so that you guys can just dote on me. I'm asking because I'm truly looking for what could be better, what could make it better, right? So one of the things that we definitely have to do is let's constantly ask people, the people that we're here to help, was it helpful? What could have made it more helpful? You know what I'm saying? So that we can then put it in there. Yeah, that muck it up is for me is real. Right? It's amazing to me that we've had this morning show for over 2 years, and y'all keep telling me we've never had a bad week in talking about something. Like every week was impactful. I know that's not me, right? Like it's not humanly possible for that to be just me. But I'm constantly asking you guys and taking in your feedback and applying it. And so what we have to understand is that is the process. The process is to not get it right the first time. The process is to put it out there to the best that we can and now get feedback to make it better. We cannot perfect it without execution. So we just have to keep that in mind. Dewana said comparison is the killer of all dreams. Yep. Or how I remember it is comparison is the thief of joy. I remember that all the time. So yeah. Anybody have any questions about today's failure to launch due to your mental blocks? On tomorrow, what we're going to talk about is failure to launch because you have no leads. So we're going to come out of the mental of it and start getting into the thick of it. So any questions about mental blocks and launching or any value adds? What you got, Dr. Ayana?
For whatever it's worth, it's not necessarily a question, but if there's anybody out there in YouTube land who has a fear of success, fear of launching because of success, I have a personal mini testimony that there was a time when I was afraid to write a certain article, and I went ahead and just took the leap. Wrote the article, submitted it to a professional magazine, and lo and behold, it made the front cover. So again, I think it was Dr. Shawana that talked about how, it kills your dreams if you are afraid to launch. And you never know who might benefit from what you say or do or have to offer. Somebody out there is waiting for you, and that one person might be the one to help shoot you into the stratosphere. So give it a try. Don't be, try your best not to be afraid.
Love it. I love it. I mean, I'm always tweaking stuff. Starting in next month, which is starting next week. I'm always tweaking stuff. They talk about the roadmap, right? I went back to my own roadmap. I told you guys in 2025 I want to be super niche, so I'm going down to Gen X, female, BIPOC, online service-based. Like I'm going into the thick of it, right? So I had to wave that super niche wand across everything to make sure that I'm not shying away to go to more of a general public of online service-based businesses. Nope. I am very clear on who it is that I want to help. And so I want to do, just a deep dive into making sure that I'm inclusive for that. So, I mean, tweaking is just the name of the game. It's not, we have to come out of thinking that because we have to tweak something, change something, upgrade it, make it better, that makes us less. It does not. It makes you the originator, that it has all authority to make it better and better and better. That's it, right? So cool beans. Anybody else have a question or a value add on the mental blocks? Dr. Tachi.
Just to say that this was very useful and helpful as usual, because I think sometimes we don't think about, because we don't know that it's something until it's called out. So you don't think about, oh, this is a block until somebody says this could be preventing you. So this was very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for me, I'm always trying to show people that I'm not perfect, right? I'm giving you examples on how, these things affect me too and how I deal with them, because I need people to also not be in their brain isolating themselves thinking I'm the only one going through this. You are not. Somebody else thinks that way. Somebody else has that problem. Somebody else has that block. And so we have to speak about it so that you don't feel isolated, because isolating yourself is only going to make it worse when you feel like you're the only person. Everybody else is just better than you. Other people have the same thoughts. Other people have the same struggles and the same issues and blocks. So you're not alone, and we all are just having a human experience. And to be human and humanity is to be imperfect. Okay. So let's keep that in mind. All right, Shawana.
Hey, I just wanted to add even with what Dr. Ayana was saying when she mentioned about scared and afraid. Really, no matter what it is we do at some point, because we will have those feelings, even have a bunch of emotion behind it, that is really when we need to move to immediate action on that thing, because it's during those moments that people need to even see. I'm a believer in not the whole TMI and showing too much. But some things people do need to see part of our journey. That makes us more, like you said, more human. It makes us relatable. Our ideal person needs to see that we're not perfect, right? We already know if we was perfect, we would be in heaven. So it's like showing up in that way, but still, of course, giving the value, your expertise. But then they're saying, yeah, I can relate to them even in their hiccups. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all saw it with the NAACP, where Kerry Washington had a recent hiccup to where she thought she had forgot to mention someone in her thank you, and went over And the whole blooper, the oops, is just showing you even people at a high caliber, they make mistakes and they still know how to roll with it. It shows that you're a human and relatable, and people love that about their ideal person. So we have to be okay to really step from behind the scenes, step into that seat, take people on parts of the journey with us that makes them want to, I say, beyond like, they love you and they rock with you and buy whatever it is that you're selling. Hence why we're all here with Shay Cannon right here on the morning show, y'all, on the morning show. All right, I rest the mic.
Thank you. Pom pom, pom pom. Thank you for being my cheerleader. Shawana, tell people what the pom pom mean, because it blew me away that you were saying pom pom, POM, over and over again. It was actually stood for something great. So tell us what the pom pom stands for, Shawana, even though you do have the physical pom poms where you're cheering us on. Oh, did you mean to come on camera, Jesus?
Yeah, actually I did, because
Okay.
then I have to be about what I talk about, right? I have
All
to be
right,
about
all
what I talk
right.
about, okay? So for that, because you called me out, I gotta tell
Okay.
you, see, some of this is what it is that yes, it is the morning show. So yes, it is morning for me.
It
And I
is.
have my pen curls in, so because of this, and she called me out, it
Okay.
is power over mindset,
Mm.
power over me. And what has happened is in my career, whether it was for my self-discovery journey or even in my walk with helping people be more visible online, is we have to understand and step into the God-given power that we have. We all have been given power and authority and dominion over something in the earth. And we have to understand that we have power over mindset, which gives you power over you. And no matter what you've been through, if you remember the power you have, hey, if we talking to the ladies today, I don't care if you're a guy too, stand in that Wonder Woman pose, shake your head, whether it's nappy or straight, and really walk into that authority. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So glad I asked you that. That was a powerful moment. Okay. Gave me a little shivers. Okay. Come on. Like Kenny the Kid and Mia with the gospel this morning. All right. All right. Okay, y'all. As you know, this morning show is a powerful value of the free business mastermind. In fact, what I realized was in our free business mastermind, we used to have an additional free training. No. That's overkill at this point. This morning show is like a free class every morning. We even have notes. So, get these notes, this show notes with the 10 actionable steps every morning. You can get them two ways. Number one, they live in the files section of the free business mastermind group. But number two, you can get the show notes and the entire morning show in your email inbox. So go to shaycannon.com/show and sign up. And what you'll get is 2 emails every broadcast day. 1 in the morning to remind you to hop on the YouTube live, and 1 in the afternoon that will give you a link to the replay and a link to the show notes. All right. Cool beans. Now, today is a get shit done work session for the paid membership only. So check your Google Calendar, your member dashboard for the link. Also, it will be posted in the Slack channel a little later on. Okay. Tuesday, tomorrow, my show, Design Your CEO Life, is back to finish out season 2. So meet me in the Indie Soup Media YouTube live chat comments at 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. Shout out to Dr. Tachi for a wonderful undertaking, as this powerful independent network is. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you want to see replays of this season 2 and my season 1, go to shaycannon.com/design. All right. Thursday is movie club night for our free business mastermind group. It's like a book club, but for movies. We watch a movie, then we get together on Zoom and we discuss all the business nuggets that we pulled out of the movie's content. So you watch the movie before we meet up at 7 p.m. Eastern time. The poll is up in the free group, so make sure that you vote. The deadline to vote is going to be Wednesday at noon, all right? Cool beans. All right, if you want to know more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, or how to get into this highly valuable free business mastermind group, the links and more information is below in the description, okay? If you haven't already, you know you got value from today's show, so make sure that you give us a thumbs up and like the episode. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and also make sure that for me, y'all, this is going to be a series, so this is not going to be the only video. Make sure that you check out the other videos in the series, all right? Cool beans. That is all for today. So the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.